Okay, this is going to be the procedure whereby we move image files up and down in the list, and Yechiel will take over. Hold on.
Okay, as you see here, your icons, these are the only two that you're going to be using. That's your RPK window. That does take sometimes a minute or two to open. Don't get nervous. This is the shortcut to your images.
The first one looks like it's like the Bluetooth.
Okay.
The second one is white.
Now
from
the
right to left.
image we're going to be
on
moving
the,
here
on the hinge. Then the third one looks like it's a battery
is the
charging. That's
Dell
one that's blinking now,
Opti
right?
755 732 Pro Corel.
Blinking orange.
Just take note over here that there are 4 files. Most images have either 2 or 3.
If you
This top
try
one
to
here
move the AC
has a
adapter
November
between
date, and so does
thing
the
in
bottom
back.
one. Those do
See
not
if-
say Corel.
see
The
if
2 in the
that
middle do
does.
say Corel at the same date. That's just the way they
See if that
sort
can go
things.
solid green at any
Obviously,
point
these
back.
2 files that say Corel
Looks
are
like the battery.
one item, and the one above and below, are a second item.
I don't know if
In order to move
adapter
it,
could be the
Right click,
port itself.
rename.
I'm not sure.
I just add a couple A's. Let's say we'll add 5 A's, for instance. You have to do both files. Whatever you do, they both have to be identical.
Well, one is what, a WIM file, and what is the other?
The CLG. Sometimes there'll be 2 CLGs if the file's really big.
Mm-hmm.
You must move
Right.
them all the same, and they must be identical,
Well, I don't
whatever you
know
do.
Right, so if you put 4 A's, it's 4 A's in the WIM and 4 A's in the
Exactly.
CLG.
In this case, we did 5 and 5, and now you see they're up here.
So try to
at
wiggle the plug in the back. And
the
see
top
if
of the
it,
list.
If it,
Okay, we'll go now to the RPK
AC
window.
adapter, or if it's a machine itself, the port itself that you plug in the.
The only
AC
2
adapter
items
to.
you're going to use in here: configuration sets and deployment sets. Anything you do, you must do exactly the same across them all. So now we're going to find that same file that we used. We're in configuration set, and the top one, Windows 7. Okay. We find our 755 732 Pro Corel file. Double click, it opens. We add exactly the same here, what we did earlier, 5 A's. In this top configuration set name box, as well as over here in the browse box, I'm just going to stick it here, right in front.
AC adapter.
In front of the name
name.
file.
Click Save. Now we go into
The first
deployment
thing is I can
sets.
send you a battery and a new
Again, we're
AC
going to look for
adapter
that identical file.
and see if that helps.
Dell Op
So I'm not sure. It could be the
Blow
AC
that up if you
adapter.
can't
that's
see.
not giving
Dell
the
Opti
connection, or maybe the
755
port itself is not
732 Pro
getting-
Corel,
it
double
isn't
click.
snug, so I don't know.
You'll note here in configuration set that change has already been moved over
I don't
from
wanna
your configuration
waste,
set.
Not waste time. I mean, not
Now
waste
in
time.
deployment on top, we'll add
But,
the same.
This, I don't know where you live. I mean,
Click Build. You must do
Not rebuild.
Not rebuild. Don't use rebuild. Only use build. And you
take,
must. They must be identical.
3 to 5 days to get to.
Right,
you.
so this was in 3 locations.
3 locations.
That,
First,
you
in
know,
your
First, naming
images
the image
file,
file,
you rename the image
rename
file.
the image,
Then
swap out the machine.
Can you go
configuration
back to
set,
the
Windows
configura-
7,
Here.
and deployment set.
right, and just modify both of those with the exact same.
Correct. All 3 have to be modified.
stuff.
They have to be identical.
And then we hit the build button, and the build button
only
will,
the build button.
will send them up to the top.
Correct. This process will
Whatever you
take
wanna do,
anywhere
I mean.
from 10 to 25 minutes, depending on the size of
He
the
said it did,
file.
He said it did charge. I mean,
When you want to move it back to its position,
once
you do the
Just
same
drop
thing.
the A's and
You
and
start.
you have to build again.
You start here renaming,
Right now, I mean, even if
and then you go back here. First, you will again do the configuration set, then the deployment set. It has to be in that order.
Very good. Shkoyach.
Bruch dir.